Well, hello there. Welcome to part 3 of Boss Your Weight Loss Q&A with the RLB. Yeah, who is me. Questions asked on my Instagram stories. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. There is links in the description. Answered over here on YouTube. Make sure, please, you are giving me a little subscribe over here as well. That would be amazing. So yeah, questions asked on my Instagram stories, answered here on YouTube, so I can put a little bit more detail in to help you guys out. And without further ado, let's get to it. Question 1. This person wanted to stay anonymous, so I have crossed out their details, but really good question. How to not feel guilty on holiday enjoying the foods you like. The honest truth is, it doesn't matter whether you're on holiday or not. You should never, ever feel guilty about what you are eating. If you feel guilty about eating anything, it's because you have an unhealthy relationship with food, and that needs to change. Okay, so how did I, and this will help you, whether you're on holiday or whether you're just enjoying a takeaway with the family or you're going out for a nice meal or loads of different scenarios. Do you know what? You just fancy a bit of flipping crisps and chocolate on a Wednesday night. This will help you with, that guilty feeling. We just need to understand some basic things around food, okay? And why we tend to have, you can't fix a problem unless you know you've got one, or, why you've got a problem. Why do we have unhealthy relationships with food? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. Number one is just associations of food, lack of education around it. Basically, we judge food in two categories, especially when we've got a weight issue. This food makes me fat, this food makes me thin. And if you're eating foods that you associate with making you fat, especially when you're trying to lose weight, guilt. That is one of the biggest reasons. Number two, the BS that's around food. There is so much garbage and junk that's out and about around food. This is gonna kill you. This is, gonna ruin your gut. This is, you might as well be eating ant poison if you're having Cocoa Pots. It's actually mentally exhausting hearing all the BS. And why do all these people lie? Because it gets views. Views, clicks, follows. A bit of negativity, and this is, unfortunately, it's the way the world is. It's why the news is full of negativity. But a bit of negativity and a bit of controversy and a bit of this, that, and the other, it gets way more views and likes and clicks than the actual truth will get. So, yeah, 2 reasons why you feel guilty about food. Number one, that, association, this makes me fat, this makes me thin. And then, like I say, a lot of BS around food. You just need to understand something very, very basic around food as a whole. No food makes you fat, no food makes you thin. The only thing that makes us fatter is eating more calories than we burn. The only thing that makes us thinner is consuming less calories than you burn. It is not what your food is made up of. A calorie is a calorie. All foods are different when it comes to our health. So certain foods are nutritionally dense. Some foods, if overconsumed, are extremely unhealthy for us. But getting fatter, getting thinner is all about energy balance. Calories in, calories out. You could have someone with an extremely unhealthy diet that eats within a calorie deficit. They will lose body fat. You could have someone that has a very healthy diet but eats within a calorie surplus, so they consume more calories than they burn, and they will get fatter. Now, the chances of someone having a healthy diet and eating more calories than they should be doing is pretty damn slim. The chances of someone having an unhealthy diet and going into a calorie deficit and losing body fat is actually not as unrealistic as you would think, because there's loads of people out there that eat absolute garbage but eat maybe not in a calorie deficit, but certainly eat within a calorie maintenance. You'll know loads of people, oh God, they eat McDonald's, they eat fish and chips, they eat burgers, they eat, crisps all the time, yet they don't gain any weight. That simply doesn't mean they're healthy. They're just eating their food within a calorie maintenance. But that's what you need to understand. And we have to understand a little bit of balance around our overall diet. So, if most of your diet is healthy and nutritious, and a small portion of it is, made up of unhealthy foods, ultra processed foods, as it were, you're still going to be really healthy. And if you eat like that within your calorie allowance for your goal, so I always recommend with my clients, 8% of their diet is healthy and nutritious, 20% is whatever they want. 20% of their calories can be McDonald's, KFC, burgers, bit of alcohol if they want it, whatever they choose to consume. If 80% is healthy and nutritious and 20% is like that, that's great balance. You're still going to have an overall healthy diet because the majority of your diet is healthy, but you're not going to feel overly restricted and you're going to be enjoying some of the foods that you genuinely love. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy healthier foods. You should, right? There's no reason to not enjoy them. But, certain foods that light our life up, like pizza, like cheesecake, like crisps, like biscuits, never apologise for that. There's nothing wrong with enjoying certain foods that are unhealthier, right? Build them into your overall healthy diet. And if your goal is weight loss, fat loss, right? Do that within a calorie deficit and you'll consistently lose weight. And it will take time. Over time, you'll see the scales consistently coming down and eventually you'll go, do you know what? I've been eating pizza, I've had a Chinese, I've been out the odd weekend and had a few drinks, blah, 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 over the last 6 months, and I've still lost 2 stone in weight. Because that's how it happened with me. I didn't weigh myself for the first 10 months or so of my weight loss journey. And when I went to weigh myself, or the first time I did weigh myself, I was in the doctors and they coaxed me to go on the scales. And I went on and I lost 100 pounds. And I went back to my car and I started crying, tears of happiness. And I was like, I can't believe it. I've enjoyed 2 holidays in the last 10 months. I've had a bit of balance. I've had a few beers here and there. I've had a takeaway at least once a week and I've lost 100 pounds. Now, if we relate that back to this question where it says how to not feel guilty on holiday enjoying the food you like, you should be enjoying the food you like whether you're on holiday or not. Now, when you go on holiday, yes, weight loss, you should shuffle your priority pack. Sometimes you have to shuffle the priority pack. When you go on holiday, weight loss is not your priority. Your priority is having a good time, is making memories. You might be with your kids, you might be with your partner, you might be with your parents. It doesn't matter. The whole point of a holiday is to relax, unwind, and just enjoy yourself. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that and be healthy, but I treat a holiday as a break from my normal routine. So if my normal routine is eating healthier, concentrating on, losing weight, I don't want that for the odd week of the year where I can just shut my brain down, just like I don't like to work while I'm on holiday. So, again, with the guilt of going on holiday, just remember, you have a weight issue. If you currently have a weight issue, that is because of what you do most of the time, not what you do some of the time. If you have 2 1-week holidays a year, that's 14 days. If you then enjoy Christmas, that might be 8 and 9 days. So now I'm up to 23 days. You then enjoy your birthday, your partner's birthday, a couple of anniversaries here and there, and a couple of weekends or, away or big events like weddings, another 10 days. That in total is 33 days, right? That is less than 10% of the year. Enjoying yourself for 10% of the year is not why you have a weight issue. You have a weight issue because you've lived 90 or 100% of the year like you're on an all-inclusive holiday. Life is about balance. It's about enjoying things. It's the same with money. You get paid your money at the end of the month and the majority of your money will go on essentials, mortgage, car payments, gas, electric, council tax. But hopefully you've got some disposable income left over to splash out on things that you enjoy. Some new clothes, saving up for a holiday, whatever you choose to spend it on, a nice meal out. And your calories are no different. 80%, that's your mortgage, that's your council tax, that's your bills, right? 20% left over to splash out on what really makes you smile, what makes life worthwhile. And that's the balance you need to stick to. And if you stick to that, you're going to have an overall healthy relationship with food, with weight loss. And when you go on holiday, when it's Christmas, when you've got your best friend's wedding, you're not going to panic. And like I say, just remember, you might have an issue because of what you've done most of the time, not what you do some of the time. Likewise, a successful weight loss journey is going to be based on what you do most of the time, not what you do some of the time. The odd holiday here and there, go and enjoy it. What I recommend doing is create a cut-off point, right? So let's say you were going away on Saturday, that's your cut-off point. Up to Friday, I stick to my journey. Saturday's my cut-off point. Couldn't give a toss about weight loss. When do I return from holiday? The following Saturday. My restart is Monday, right? So cut-off point, no weight loss, not bothered. Restart point, a week on the Monday. As soon as you get back on that Monday, I know you're back on the Saturday, but, you know, enjoy the weekend. As soon as the Monday hits, back to doing what you do. Any weight gain from holiday will be gone before you even know it. And there we go. That's it. Lots of advice in that one. But your first port of call is to create that overall healthy relationship with food. No food makes you fat. No food makes you thin. It's all about energy balance, calories in, calories out. You can enjoy the foods you love and be very, very healthy and have a successful weight loss journey. Question 2 is from Mel, getting back on my diet. Now, there's not much background to this, so I don't know if Mel is struggling after a holiday. So this kind of rolls on from question 1, or, you know, she's been struggling for a couple of months, or she's been on holiday, and then that holiday has rolled into, you know, a 2-week holiday, a 3-week holiday, a 4-week holiday, a 2-month holiday, a 3-month holiday. And this is the issue with holidays. It's not an issue. Holidays are not an issue, but this is where a lot of people go wrong with holidays. And as I've just said in question 1, create a cut-off point, create a restart point, and you have to stick to it. But why would you maybe struggle with that restart point? Or why would you maybe struggle with being consistent? So you might have done amazing on your weight loss journey. You might have stuck to something for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, lost a considerable amount of weight. And then for whatever reason, you've kind of slipped into an extended weight loss break. And now when you want to lose more weight, or maybe lose a bit of weight you've put back on, you're struggling to get back to it. And the main reason for me with this is method. It is the method. A lot of people lose weight, and I talk about this all the time, with an unsustainable method. And when you use an unsustainable method to lose weight, eventually you will hit a brick wall. And that brick wall isn't going anywhere, right? And then when you have this like kind of break for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you regress a bit backwards. Then you decide, no, I need to get on my journey again. So you start doing what you were doing before you hit the brick wall, and you'll hit the brick wall much sooner at this time. So you might have stuck to something for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Unsustainable diets. 99% of fad diets are unsustainable. Ketogenic diet. Slimming World. You know, why is Slimming World unsustainable? 12 sins a day. It's very hard to stick to. It's very restrictive. Keto, not eating carbs. Again, very, very restrictive. Intermittent fasting. If you've used some crazy shake diet or Cambridge plan diet, something like that, they're very, very restrictive. And things can trigger the brick wall, like a holiday. This kind of happened to me a little bit in my first year of my weight loss journey. I was quite strict, probably a bit too strict the first, probably 10, 11 months of my weight loss journey. I actually said I was no carbing. I wasn't. I didn't have a clue about nutrition at that point. I didn't realise. I just thought carbs was things like potatoes and bread. I didn't realize it covered grains. So I was eating carbohydrates, but the carbs I was eating was grains like oats and rice and stuff like that. Doesn't mean every now and then I didn't have a little bit of bread but mainly my carbs came from fruit, veg, rice and oats. That's what I was eating. I did have a couple of beers most Friday nights as well and a few other bits and pieces, but you know, I was eating carbohydrates. But I was overall probably a bit too restrictive with my diet. And when Christmas came, I did have a couple of holidays. But I'll be honest with you, my first couple of holidays that I had, I was quite restrictive. I did enjoy them and I gave myself more freedom than I would do normally. But looking back, I was still a little bit restrictive. Christmas 2014 came and I decided to enjoy myself more than I would do normally on my diet. And the reason for that was Christmas 2013 was a very bad Christmas for me. It's my first Christmas without my dad. I had some very troubling times. But from those troubling times, that kind of triggered me to start my weight loss journey. So 2014, I did say to myself, I'm going to enjoy this Christmas. And I did. I fully let go. And from that, it makes you realize how restrictive you have been. And then when January came, I did struggle to get back into what I was doing. And to be honest with you, in 2015, which was kind of year 2 of my weight loss journey, I more plateaued for the year than lost weight. And the main reason for that was, well, a few different reasons, but yeah, I was struggling to find that balance to get back to doing what I did for the first 10 months. Now, I didn't regress. I didn't go backwards. I still actually lost a bit of weight in 2015, probably about a stone, something like that. But considering I'd lost 10 stone in my first year, right? And then, you know, or 2014 lost about 10 stone to then go into 2015 and just lose a stone. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere. And I struggled to get back on my diet. And that's when I taught myself a little bit more balance. And in 2016, that's when I started tracking my calories. And although I wasn't great at it to start off with, and what I mean by that is the way I track calories now when I coach my clients to track calories. By the way, if you are struggling, that's what I do. It's my job. I'm a one-to-one weight loss coach. I will put all the details in the description of this video. Of how I can help you. I'll also put a link in to an inquiry form so you can just touch base with me and say, hi Neil, been watching some of your YouTube videos. I'd like to inquire about, you know, how you can help me. But yeah, I did struggle. So Mel, with this question, getting back on my diet, I would seriously be looking at the way you've been losing weight, right? Because if it has been unsustainable, and you know, some people can stick to unsustainable diets for a couple of years, right? And get great results on them in terms of weight loss. But like I say, you've probably hit that brick wall. The second part of this is as well, a lot of people when they are losing weight, they don't tackle the biggest issue really of having, you know, weight issues. And that is why. You know, if you said to someone, if you said to me 15 years ago, why are you overweight? I would have said, because I'm lazy and I overeat. Obviously, that's a contributing factor, but I got to being 37 stone because I had big emotional issues and I used food as a coping mechanism to distract me from those emotional issues. It was my support tool. It was my support blanket. It was my comfort blanket, as you were. You know, it felt like it was giving me a hug when I was down. You know, it picked me up when I was struggling. It distracted me when this thing, my head, was, you know, going west. And a lot of people don't tackle the main issue. I'm not saying you don't eat too much food. I'm not saying you aren't, you know, quite sedentary in your movement. But this can be another brick wall, is we can kind of sweep our issues away for a period of time, but unless we deal with them, they can come back and haunt us. And when they come back, that will stop us progressing on our journey. Lots of reasons, you know, self-sabotage reasons, low self-esteem, low confidence. Like I say, just emotional trauma. Still, you know, you haven't figured out a way to stop using food as that coping mechanism. So getting back on my diet, two things. Look at the way you've been dieting, whether you've been doing it for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself this one question. Ask it now if you're losing weight now. Ask it about the previous diet you've been doing. Whatever I'm doing to lose weight now, am I willing to do it for the rest of my life? That is the question you need to ask. Now, I'm not saying you need to lose weight for the rest of your life, but what you are currently doing to control your eating, to put you into a calorie deficit, it needs to stay about whether you're trying to lose weight or maintain the weight you've lost. You need to change your lifestyle for good. There is no point doing something for 6 months, 12 months. You know, if you've got financial difficulties, and you end up in quite a lot of debt, right? You then might go, right, we need to sort this out. And you might amalgamate your debt together and then be skint for a couple of years and really make some severe cutbacks to pay this debt off. Once you've paid that debt off, if you then go back into the same spending habits as when, you were in debt 2, 3, 4 years, you're going to wind up in debt again. And you're just going to be constantly fighting this battle over and over again. And that's what people do with weight loss. They sort this debt management out for 6 months, 12 months, but then they go back into their old spending habits. But you're not spending money, you're spending calories. So, Mel, have a look at your previous methods and be honest with yourself. Were they too restrictive? And if they were, you need to look at a different method. You need to erase that, even if it gave you great results on the scales, right? There's a difference between having successful weight loss and having a successful weight loss journey. And number two, have you tackled your issues around food? What really led you to having a weight issue in the first place? Have you, sorted it out? Because if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have had the success I've had. I might have lost a considerable amount of weight over a year, over 2 years, but I certainly wouldn't have been sat here now maintaining my loss for nearly 7 years. Over 7, is it 7 years? November 2017? 7 years in November, I will have maintained my 250 pound weight loss. So that is what you need to look at. And don't blame yourself. No sad emojis, right? It's the emotional part of things is tough. That is a tough thing to tackle. And, the fact that you might have got trapped by a fad diet, very, very common. So just have a look at those two things. And if you need any further help, you know where I am. Social events. Number 3, day of and day after. Yes, this can be a tricky one. Well, it's a tricky one depending on how you are trying to lose weight, the method you are using to lose weight. What we need to understand about a weight loss journey is you can't stop life. A lot of people want to, but you can't stop it. Life is life and it's going to keep going. You can't put a pause button on other people's social occasions, your birthday, Christmas, holidays, because you want to lose some weight. Therefore, you need to build life into your weight loss journey. Healthy, sustainable fat loss is about £1 a week on average. So if you've got 50 pounds to lose, that's going to take you around a year. Now, a year actually isn't that long a period of time, but within a year, you are going to have birthdays. You are going to have maybe the odd wedding. You are going to have anniversaries, parents' birthdays. You're going to want at least one holiday. You're certainly going to have Christmas in there. And we still need to enjoy these things. And this kind of goes back to a little bit of what I was saying about question 1. Your weight loss journey is not about what you do some of the time. It's about what you do most of the time. So social events should not be, a common occurrence. Now, look, I always say this, to have a successful weight loss journey, you should feel like you are compromising, not sacrificing. So look, if you're someone that's a bit of a socialite, and this might be more relevant if you are younger or older, so people that are retired or just, not even retired, not even that old, You're not that old, by the way, before people start having a go at me. What I mean is, when you're retired, you don't have as much, routine in your life, and you are generally a few more holidays, few more social events, because you've got more freedom with life. But even if you are 40s, 50s, 60s, your kids have grown up, they've moved on. Again, you've got more flexibility and freedom with life. Likewise, if you are single or if you are, teens, early 20s, again, there's going to be more of a want stroke need to have a social life. But you do need to make some compromises. If you want to go out on the smash every weekend, or even just going out for slap up meals every weekend, with a good few drinks, you're going to find that hard to build that into a successful weight loss journey. I'm not saying you can't do that, but you are going to find it tough. Now, to keep a weight loss journey sustainable, you should feel like you're having, you're making some compromises, not sacrifices. So, I get that people want to go out. I like going out. But if it's going to be an occasion where you're drinking quite a lot of alcohol or eating quite a lot of food or a bit of both, you need to make some compromises. You either need to do 1 in 2 at the most. 1 in 3 is ideal. Once a month would be absolutely perfect. Or you need to look, if you've got 3 or 4 events going on in a row, you need to kind of prioritize and go, well, do you know what? That's my best mate's birthday, so I'm going to go and enjoy that. That's my partner's friend's birthday. I'll be designated driver and let my partner have a few drinks, because that's going to save you alcohol calories. And then it might just be a case of making some better choices with your food. So that's the first thing with social events. Don't try and block them. Don't try and avoid them, right? Because you're going to go to an extreme and you still need to live your life. But there has to be, again, a bit of balance. Now, when you've got a social event, like I say, if you've got them week in, week out, and you're just a very social person, there's got to be some compromise somewhere. You are going to find that tough. But if you've got, events like your best friend's wedding, and then 6 weeks before it, you've got the hen do or the stag do, and then you might have, I don't know, Auntie Deirdre's 60th one Saturday night. Yeah, we just need to build these into the journey. If you're following my advice on weight loss, you'll be looking at calories. And basically what I advise my clients to do, and this is what I do myself, is we understand how many calories we burn in a week. We take an amount off that to give us our healthy, sustainable calorie deficit, which for most people is 3,500 calories. And that amount is your ideal deficit. So if you burn 17,500 calories in a week, your ideal deficit is 14,000 calories a week. Why I call it ideal deficit, it's what we're trying to hit more often than not. There is no such thing as a perfect weight loss journey. A weight loss journey is built on consistency. Being consistent is not about being perfect. It's about doing what you should be doing more often than not, which is why, if you are very social, we need to make that bit of compromise to be consistent. And, every now and then you just have to accept, I am not going to be able to stick to my ideal deficit. Now, listen to what I just said there. I put most of my clients into a 3,500 calorie deficit. It's not an exact numbers game. If my clients at the end of the week, 3,500 calorie deficit will lose you 1 pound of body fat, right? If my client at the end of the week decides to have a smaller deficit because they have an event, let's say they're in a 1,750 calorie deficit instead of a 3,500 calorie, they're still in a deficit. They're still going to lose half a pound. They're just giving themselves a little bit more calorie freedom. And that's what you need to do with social events. You need to give yourself a bit more calorie freedom. And this is what a lot of fad diets don't allow us to do. They're very restrictive. They're very corridor, right? And there's no sort of little turns or little spaces where the corridor gets a little bit bigger, so you've got a bit more room to breathe. And that's a reason why they're unsustainable. When you're looking at calories and you're not fixated on numbers, and you understand that you can have a bit of flexibility within your diet here and there, it makes it so much easier to stay on track. So let's say your calorie allowance is 14,000 calories a week, and on Saturday night, you've got your friend's 30th birthday party, local working men's club or village hall or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Hired a room, got a DJ, you know, everyone's doing Macarena and Wigfield at 10 o'clock at night time, right? And you just need to go, right, am I going to build this into my ideal deficit? Because again, the way I look at calories, your calories isn't a set daily amount, it's a daily average. Some days you'll eat less, some days you'll eat more. And I go, right, I've got an event on Saturday night. I'm going to bank these amount of calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that'll give me some extra freedom at the weekend. Is that freedom going to be enough? No, I need a bit more. Right, make your calories work for you. So that week where you've got your friend's 30th and you're going to be, you know, doing the Casper Slide Part 2, 2 hops this time at, you know, 9:30 on Saturday night after 16 Blue Wickeds, right? You need to go, no, I probably need an extra 2,000 calories for Saturday night, right? Just quoting songs there. I'm going to need an extra 2,000 calories, right? So this week, instead of having 14,000 calories, I'm going to stick to 16,000 calories. And the extra 2,000 I'm going to use on Saturday for my friend's party. Now, you have put the day after, and this is where I struggle with social events. The hangover. When I'm hungover, oh, I just want to eat the world. I really, really do. So you need to take that into account as well. And you know what? If it's a big event, I have a calorie maintenance week. I'll literally go, do you know what? I'm just going to eat my calorie maintenance. So basically give myself an extra 3,500 calories and I'll use that at the weekend. So classic scenario, you've got 2,000 calories a day on average, 14,000 calories over the week, right? I'm not going to have a calorie deficit this week. Big party Saturday night. I'm going to be hanging out my bottom on Sunday. I'm going to want McDonald's breakfast, KFC for my dinner and a Chinese for my tea. I need more calories. So I'm going to stick to my ideal deficit. I'm still going to bank my calories during the week. So during the week, instead of having 2,000 a day, you're going to have 1,700 a day. That will bank you 1,500, right? You're now having a calorie maintenance, which is 3,500 calories extra. So you've got an extra 5,000 calories. Plus you have 2,000 each day anyway. That gives you 9,000 calories for Saturday, Sunday. And if you're in a calorie maintenance, you're not going to lose any body fat, but you're not going to gain any body fat. Make your calories work for you. So make sure you're using a weight loss method that gives you some flexibility and freedom with your eating, that allows you to build social events in. Understand there's no such thing as a perfect weight loss journey. And when you've got an event on, adjust your calories, have a smaller deficit, maybe even a calorie maintenance that week, but it'll keep you staying positive. As long as you stick to the target that's set out, you'll feel good about it, even if you've overeaten or had a lot of calories at the weekend. As long as it fits in with your goal, and you can go into your NutriCheck in MyFitnessPal just for that week and change your calories. Now, you might be like, how do I do that? Well, that's what I do as a coach. Come work with me. Come on my one-to-one plan. When you check in on a Friday, you can say, next Saturday, I have got this event on. How would I manage my calories? I'll do the work for you. You just then need to stick to your calories. But that is what you need to do. You need to accept that every now and then you're going to need more calories than a calorie deficit is going to give you, right? And just go, do you know what? My priority this week is enjoying my friend's birthday. Can I stick to some sort of deficit? Yes or no? Be honest with yourself. Yes. If the answer is no, have a calorie maintenance. Whatever's going on in your life, you never need to really eat more calories than you burn. I probably do that 2 or 3 times a year. And that is on a holiday, you know, you go all inclusive, or Christmas. Other than that, any event, an all day wedding, a birthday party, a family meal out, I can just adjust my calories enough up to still being in some sort of deficit or going into a calorie maintenance. And question 4, I need your help with this one. The urge to have 10 pints as soon as the sun's out. Because I have got the breaking strain of a soggy Kit Kat. We do have to accept there are better and worse times to lose weight. And when the sun is shining, certainly on a Saturday, that is a tough one for me. That tests my willpower, especially as Johnny, that asked this question, messages me and goes, what are you up to? I'm like, not a lot. Sun shining. Yeah. Fancy a beer? Oh, go on then. So that might help. Let's stop messaging each other when the weather's nice. But anyway, yeah. Any advice any of you guys might have on how to say no when the sun's shining and having a few beers in the beer garden, yeah, let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this video, part 3. As always, please like, subscribe. Any comments, any questions, look out for the question box on my Instagram stories. And I hope some of those answers has helped not only the people that have asked the questions, but helped anyone else that has watched this as well. And until next time, as always, boss your weight loss.